this lesson we'll take a look at two additional data types, the Boolean and the double. We're going to begin with using the double. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the variables lesson that we did, the project from the variables lesson, and I'm going to go ahead and comment out all of the code. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that here. I'm going to add the asterisk. There we go, /. So now all of my code that I've previously written from previous lessons have all been commented out. So let's go ahead and begin now by creating the double. So I'm going to go ahead and type in double, and I'm going to go ahead and just say tax rate equals 0.06. And a double can actually hold a value up to 15 digits long, so this is going to be plenty of room for us to work with for this tax rate. End it with a semicolon. And so we're going to go ahead and create another number here. And I'm just going to go ahead and use a double as well. We're just going to call this one item price equals, and we'll just say cost $25.99. And then we're going to go ahead and do one more. So I'll end that with that semicolon. And we'll do one more, a double. And we're going to go ahead and say total price. I'm not going to set the value quite yet on the total price. So we've got a tax rate of 0.06, I've got an item price of $25.99, I've got a total price here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, you know what, the total price is going to equal the item price multiplied or added to with the tax rate. So we're going to go ahead and set that now. So total price equals item price plus item price times tax rate. So this should give me my total cost for my price. And so we can go ahead and verify that by running console write line and adding total price in here. So this will print out the value of total price as variable. So let's go ahead and run this real quick and see what we've got. And you'll see my total price here is 27.5494. So it holds these numbers here within a decimal as well. Now one thing you do want to remember is anytime you use decimal numbers, you want to make sure that you're using the right data types for numbers such as like your answer. I've got a double for my total price. If I change the double here to just an int, which is going to be my integer, and I run this application again, let's go ahead and start without debugging. I do get a build error, and so the reason being is because of the double on the integer. It's going to look for a double for my answer, so I'll go ahead and close this. Keep that in mind while you're working with numbers. Doubles are going to be great when you're using any kind of decimal number. If you're going to use just integers or just whole numbers, then stick with the int. But if you're going to use decimals, make sure you've got this. And so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at using Booleans now. We'll go ahead and space down here. And we're going to go ahead and just do BOOL, and that would work for us, Boolean, and I'll hit space. We're going to create our first Boolean here. And Booleans are going to be used for creating true or false answers or yes, no answers. And so what we're going to do here is call this one ANS1. I'm going to just say equals. Now what we've got for Booleans, it can equal either true or false. So I can actually just type in true, and we'll go ahead and end this with a semicolon, hit enter, and that will satisfy the Boolean's data type. I can also use Boolean for things like comparisons. And so let's go ahead and do ANS2. I'm going to say equals. So what we're going to do now is actually just do a comparison. So we're going to say, let's say 5, and then we're going to compare it to, which is going to be 2 equal signs, and then 6. And that with a semicolon. So what we're saying here is answer 2 or ANS2 is going to equal the value of whether 5 is equal to 6. And so that 5 does not equal 6, and so what we're going to do for this answer is it's actually going to be false. And I can prove that here by running a console write line. And we'll put in ANS2. That's my answer. And I'll go ahead and run this now. And And you'll see here I've got an answer of false after my 27.5494. So false is what my result is that we're actually writing here. And that's because it does the math comparison or calculation and it says 5 is not equal to 6. If I can change this up here a little bit, I'll just say 5 is less than 6. And I can do another comparison here, and this statement's answer will be passed over into this ANS2. So now if I rerun it, you'll see that it says true. And so this is a true comparison, so the value of this Boolean is true. And so this is using Booleans when we're using our data types, and you can use them for all sorts of different calculations, or just to check whether answers are true or false, or comparisons are true or false. And this is using both the doubles for decimals and Booleans as true or false answers for data types.